Hi, my name is Harshad Parekh. Me and my wife Naina Parekh, we are both 75-year-old and we have been vegan for almost 30 years. Today's my speech is all about path to nirvana. Path to nirvana means path to happiness or bliss. And we want to share with you our lifetime experience, how we become vegan and why we become vegan, and how easy it is and sometimes how difficult is it to become vegan and change our lifestyle for betterment of our own self. My understanding is that people become vegan, meaning harmless, egoless and truthful way of life or ahimsa, because of various reasons. There is no single virtue for which people become vegan. Like some people become vegan because it's a calling from your soul, and that comes because of your past karma or present karma. Some people become vegan because they got all the abundance in life and they are having all material wealth, and still they feel we are not happy about it. And some people become vegan because of the desperation, that they are feeling so much miserable in life, mentally, physically, spiritually and financially. So they are looking for way out of the life and getting better life. And then they seek something, and if they are lucky and if their karma is aligned with their soul, they get a good friend, philosopher or guidance from spiritual books, and then they try to follow those principles and then they become vegan. We became vegan because of the desperation. We were living in USA for almost 30 years, and in 1989 I came to India with my wife to attend a family wedding, and we were financially very much distressed and also had a health issues. I had a kidney disease which was life-threatening, and my wife was diabetic for almost 15 years at that time. Now she is a diabetic for almost 45 years and she's alive today. And we had because of the financial crisis, we were really desperate and looking for a way out. And we met a Muslim philosopher, Sri Akbar Ali Jetha, and he spoke with us along with our other family members for almost 15-20 minutes, and out of which few lines attracted our attention, which was, if you become 1% harmless, you can become 1% benefited. If you become 100% harmless, you can get 100% benefited. And I asked him, benefited in what way? And he suggested that mentally, physically, spiritually and financially. And that financial word attracted me the most, because we wanted to get out of the situation which we were in, financial distress. So I asked, who helps doing all these things? So he said, whoever you believe in, your God, Krishna, Allah, Jesus, whoever. He believes if you become harmless, egoless and truthful and also honest. So I said, what I have to do to become harmless, egoless and truthful? He said, just drop milk from your diet. And I said, just by not drinking milk, will I be able to get all these things, whatever I want? He said, yes, try it. So I requested that I want to understand something more about it. So he invited me for another dinner. Next day, we went there, and then he explained to me the principle of veganism or ahimsa, which is harmless, egoless and truthful way of living life. And since then, we have started adopting vegan lifestyle, we did not drop all the animal product which we were consuming, which was yogurt and buttermilk and cheese and honey, etc. Just started with a vegan. But then if your karmas are good, present karma, and also if your past karma is helping you, then you start thinking that why, if you are not drinking milk, how can I have yogurt or cheese then slowly you grow from there. And it's coming from within. And then you start stopping use of leather, wool, silk, ivory, those kind of things. So ultimately we have achieved so many things in life which is unbelievable to describe. Since then I have gone through 3 cancer surgeries and I have survived them. I have gone through Crohn's disease and a stroke and other surgery. I have survived. My wife is a diabetic for almost 45 years and she is alive today. Her sister and her mother died at the age of 45 and she is 75. So we are totally convinced that we are today alive today because of the becoming veganism, which is a harmless, egoless and truthful way of living life. So if you don't harm anybody, nobody can harm you. That's a basic principle. Now I have understood that most of the people get logically convinced that yes, this is logical and this is, everybody should do it. But not many people can change the lifestyle because our food habits are engraved in our lifestyle since childhood. And it is very difficult to change anybody's food habit. And the correlation between the doing harm and having impact on our life financially, spiritually, physically and mentally is not clear that way. So we don't realize what we are doing today is going to affect our life starting from tomorrow or up to next 20, 30 years. And people are saying, okay, we can do it, but it's not possible. And what are the benefits? So until you realize that the purpose of life is to live happy, healthy, blissful, and meaningful life, you have to get all these things. And it will be only possible, in our understanding, is that you live harmless, egoless and truthful life. Meaning if you don't harm anybody, nobody can harm you. And you deserve whatever you want and whatever you wish, you deserve it and you get it. Because there is some supreme force, universal force, help you achieve these successes. So because of that 30 years of experience, we have understood few simple things. That is not a rocket science. You can do it right now, today, on this moment onward. But you need some help because purpose of mind is doubts and desire. Anything you do, anything you listen, anything you experience, there is always a doubt why it is so, and desire, what do I get it from? So another thing we realize that unless you know what you want, you may not get it. So if you want it very desperately, that I want to be happy, healthy, blissful life, then you can follow this type of principle. And then you want to sacrifice few small things in your life to achieve that ultimate bliss in your life, which is another way of enlightenment and nirvana. There is a difference between two things, happiness and pleasure. We misunderstand happiness with pleasure. Pleasure is momentary and coming from outside source, and happiness is eternal and it comes from within. So we understand our daily pleasure of a few seconds or few minutes or few hours as a happiness, but then it fizzles out. Also, I have observed that spirituality comes to two types of people. One is the people who has an abundance of everything, means they have got everything they can imagine in the material world, and still they feel that I'm not happy. And then they look for the truth. They are searching for a truth and real happiness, and then they go into deeper understanding of life, and then they understand the nirvana, for a process of nirvana, or how to achieve it. Like most of the big saints and Mahatmas and godly souls are from the very affluent society, riches, like kings. Mahavira was a king, Buddha was a king, Krishna and Rama were the king, and they become spiritual leader or godly person after realizing that everything, whatever they want materially, but still they are not happy. It doesn't mean that only rich people will become godly person. Even poor people or people with less means comes as a godly person also. They become godly person because they get message from the within. They get language from the soul which they understand. And it is destined for them because of their old karma. So there is lot of things which we have to understand. But main thing I want to share with all of you is that it is not that difficult or impossible to achieve nirvana or happiness or whatever you want within the reasonable limits. Whatever you think about getting in your life, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially, it is doable and it is achievable. God has made our body, mind, and spirit in such a way that it has given the same creative power which God has to a human being. But we cannot understand it and use it because of our daily karma. So if you realize that whatever you are doing, small and large, which is not aligned with your soul's desire, then you are not living a true meaningful life. Like giving an example, Sri Akbar Ali Jetha wrote a beautiful book named Reflection and on Happiness. And I will share some quotes from that also. And that says that happiness cannot be achieved in the egoistic mind, because soul is like a mirror, and the mirror is very clean, and the mind looks at the mirror and gets the message, and then mind behaves according to that soul's message. But more harm we do in our regular life, slowly that mirror becomes foggy. And more harm you do, that mirror becomes so foggy that you can't even see yourself, soul. So what mind does, it creates a pseudo soul, which is ego. And then we understand that pseudo soul as a real soul, and then we try to follow that path, which is totally wrong. And it's a path coming from our egoistic mind. All these things I have understood because of my friendship with Sri Akbar Ali Jetha for almost 20 years. He made us understand every small little thing, because every time I used to come from USA to do my business in India, we used to meet hours and hours together, and I would come with hundreds of questions and he would reply very clearly, precisely, in a very understanding way. And he made me read so many books, which also helped me a lot. During that process, he was guiding me what to do, what to read. And it started with an audio cassette by Osho, Ashtavakras Mahagita. Everybody should try to listen that audio cassette series or video cassette series, Ashtavakras Mahagita. Then he requested me to read Conversations with God with Neil Donald Walsh, part 1, 2, and 3. And then Friendship with God by Neil Donald Walsh. Then Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And also, now recently I have been listening to Brahma Kumari, Shivani, And she is currently the best philosopher or spiritual leader I find, who has such a powerful message to all of us, that small things she suggests we can adopt in our life, and you can achieve this path to nirvana. We also have a group, WhatsApp group, which is Path to Nirvana. And maybe if you are interested more about it, you may want to join that. So I'm giving you my number, WhatsApp number, and you can request your name and number, and I'll add you into that group, and then slowly you will get all this kind of messages. My telephone number, which is a WhatsApp number, is 98672 Again, the number is 98672 Also, my email address is hparekh, Parekh, then again P. So it's hparekhp@gmail.com. So if you have any questions, if you want to know more about all the small thing I have explained to you today, you may send me the email or you may send the WhatsApp message, and we can set up a time and talk. In future, we may do a Zoom video conference, and then we will have a question and answer where everybody will have a lot of questions, I'm sure, because I had a lot of questions, and I was lucky to get Shri Akbar Ali Jetha as my friend, who replied to me and trained me to learn all these things. Besides my health problem, I had a financial problem also, as I explained before. And those have gone by. Like now we are financially very stable and we don't have any worry about it. So to summarize it, my experience is that if you really live harmless, egoless and truthful lifestyle by mind, body and spirit, and do your karma aligned with your soul, which is thinking, speaking and doing in the principle of harmless, egoless and truthful way of life, you can achieve anything in this life. That is what our experience is all about. So I hope, excuse me, this small talk will help you. I have some articles and I have some speeches which I have done it in the past, which is going to be posted on my this page. Maybe you can review those things, that will help you a lot. And then you can send me the message, and we can have a video conference also during this festival of Global Vegan Expo to understand more about it. I also want to read Shri Akbar Ali Jetha. He wrote in his book Reflection 14 Steps to Nirvana. And I'll read you the steps, and you may feel that, oh, it's very difficult, but then I'll explain to you the trick, how you can achieve to the Nirvana. It says, from sincerity comes truthfulness. From truthfulness comes feeling. From feeling comes harmlessness. From harmlessness comes unselfishness. From unselfishness comes detachment. From detachment comes objectiveness. From objectiveness comes clarity. From clarity comes concentration. From concentration comes observation. From observation comes self-realization. From self-realization comes awareness. From awareness comes alertness. From alertness comes enlightenment. And from enlightenment comes bliss. By Shri Akbar Ali Jetha. It's a copyrighted article by Shri Akbar Ali Jetha. It's in his book Reflections. Also, I would like to share some small tips, how easy it can be. Because it cannot be achieved in a one single stroke of your karma. You start doing small thing and that will lead you to this path of nirvana or path of happiness. Oh, by the way, when I read this and when he was writing, he was reading to me all these sentences, from this to this to this. I said, Akbar bhai, I don't even know the meaning of the words you are using. How I am going to achieve all these things? He said, don't worry, just do the first thing. So like, just look, from sincerity comes truthfulness. Just be sincere about everything you do in your life today onwards, and then it will work like a domino effect. So it will go to that next level automatically. If you become sincere about everything, you will become truthful about everything. And then if you become truthful about everything, your feelings will change. So that is how it will become domino effect, and you will realize that slowly you are progressing in your world of understanding and your behavior, and then you will reach nirvana or happiness, whatever you consider. Second thing I have seen is that in the present life, which is a Kali Yuga in our understanding, it is very difficult to do all this spiritual and deep understanding. So how do we achieve it? You can't drop everything what you are doing, like your business or your profession or what, and it is all done in a very negative way sometimes. So what I have observed is that you start following certain simple principles in life starting from today. So be truthful about everything, not even white lies. White lies like that if you are going for a meeting and if you are late, and then you tell the person who is going to meet with you that, oh, I'm late because the traffic was horrible. In fact, you have started late from your home and you knew it that you are going to be late, but still you just say that, okay, oh, traffic was horrible, that's why I'm late. So that's a white lie. Don't do that. Tell the truth. Prepare early. Start early. Second thing is be honest about everything. Not even smallest thing, you don't become dishonest. Third thing is when you do business or any transaction, think about somebody else, what is there for him. Just don't think about what is there for me. So don't become selfish to an extent. It is acceptable to become self-centered, but not the selfish and hurt other people, because anything you do, you have to pay the price. But we don't pay the price the next day or next month or next year. Sometimes you pay the price after 20 years. And if you don't pay the price, your children pays. So these are the simple things you have to do. Second thing is, whenever some thing comes in your life which is negative or bad or sad, our tendency is to blame somebody else. That this is because of them, this is because of this is because of this is because of my destiny or naseeb. Don't do that. Accept it as it comes, as if you have invited this thing. And then start trying to solve the issue. So acceptance is very important in life. Don't blame anybody. Another thing I have observed and I am practicing is that even if you have an enemy or people who are not interested in your progress but their own progress, don't think bad about it. Just think good about everybody, and then slowly things will change. And one of the most important thing is that we have to do our karma by thought, word and deed correctly, harmlessly, egolessly and truthfully. And the most important is thought. Words and deeds are very important, but they are like one-time thing. One time you say word and one time you act. So if you do those things are right. But thought, you think 10,000 times before you talk and before you do something. So thought creates more bad karmas if you are thinking bad, and thought creates more good karma if you are thinking good. So these are the small simple things which is helping me and which may help to you. So these are the tricks. If you try to practice it every day in your life, I think you can achieve whatever you want in this life within, of course, reason. And last thing is that, again, thinking, speaking, and doing all these things good, but you have to work for it. It's not going to happen automatically. Nothing happens automatically. Everything happens for the reason. So think big, think positive always, and try to do this simple thing. And I wish this may help you in your life, to improve your life. And I'm sure you will have hundreds of questions out of this, and that's good. So try to contact me by phone, WhatsApp group, or email. Again, I will repeat my phone number, 986726411, and my email is hparekhp@gmail.com. Thank you, and have a blissful life. God bless you all. Thank you. Bye.